Good morning, everybody. This is Johnny Seville. This is your executive summary for stock setups for Tuesday market review. And well, I hope you all had a wonderful long weekend because the volatility is back. Of course, we've been looking at this obviously post Brexit rally that we've seen after that nice, beautiful drop that we saw at the beginning of the week. We just rallied straight up into resistance. So if you recall, last week in Tuesday and Wednesday, we were saying that basically we expected the market to rally up and close around the 2100 level. And if you recall, the what we drew on the chart is we said we basically want to see the S&P come up, rally up into this zone here, and then at the very last candle we wanted to see a candle like that as we closed at the 2100 level, filling the resistance, and we wanted that to be where open range set. Well, have a look at what we got. That's exactly what we got. So the crystal ball was working well, my friends. Okay, so obviously what we could see here is as we went straight into that last candle, the volume went from 4.62 billion, sorry, to 3.46 billion going into the long weekend. Volume basically evaporated, and an open range was set, a very tight open range right here, as you can see, defined by these orange levels. So what we really want here is a close 3 points below this level today, which would set bearish open range for the month of July, and that would then say that bearish sentiment until next Friday. So we get that nice kind of downward decline that we're looking for the bear argument. If we have a look at the futures currently, that is what we're looking at. We're seeing the S&P 500 futures are currently down 14 points, which is excellent way to start the day. And of course, we can see that the overseas markets, the DAX, are down 1.74%. Of course, other notable things are crude down 3% and gold up 0.8%. So some really good numbers coming out of the futures market at the moment, which is just a very exciting way to start things out. Of course, we're very well positioned to take advantage of the of a downward move. Just a quick recap of some of the ones that are kind of still in the spotlight at the moment. SNX kind of right up into its right shoulder at the moment. It was one of our alerts for the watch list that could start to look interesting. That's obviously one we talked about the put options on. LITE, another one on the watch list. All these kind of in that zone. This one we're waiting for on LIT breaking down below that $22 level, but that one's one worth keeping your eye on. DLPH, we bought some puts on last week. This one's in a really good zone. It didn't get much of a rally. Certainly didn't come anywhere near to the highs of where it was pre-Brexit. Just kind of rallied up into resistance, closing beneath its 9-day moving average. This one, if that one breaks down today, that could be actionable below the $62 mark. Of course, DLPH. Part of a very large kind of declining head and shoulder, but you can see the way that this is sharply moved down here and just kind of sitting underneath resistance. So that one's looking good. Already in that. BGCP also kind of at resistance. Of course, this is also already active, but again, just to review how well healthy this looks. Straight down, rallied straight up into resistance, didn't really break through resistance at all. It closed underneath resistance there. So DLPH is, BGCP is looking really good. And PCAR, the trucking company. this is also another one that's obviously already active, one that's already in the newsletter. But again, look at the breakdown here. This has come nowhere near the Brexit highs, pre-Brexit highs, unlike the market. So you can see this one just broken down and gone straight into resistance as well. Remember the entry point on this one, entry criteria was 52.53, was still beneath that. So this has moved up really well, and again, hoping to see this reverse from this point as well, and these oscillating rallies we saw last week. So basically, the stage is set now to let the market do its job and take these and start to pick the momentum back up to the downside. Hopefully, of course, we will know a lot more once we close out the market today and see where things end up. But at the early stages today, things are looking really good. So the main thing, of course, is to make sure that you are keeping your alerts set up for your stop losses, your profit targets. Even though we have a lot of market volatility, we still want to trade with targets and make sure that we are waiting for those take profit points. Even if we get big moves, we still want to take profits. Even if we still expect further moves in the future, we're still going to be taking profits on the way down when we hit respective targets. So we've got a very exciting week and probably months ahead to come. So we will be making sure that we keep our eye on it. I'm going to be going straight back to my scans at the moment following this recording. If I see anything rockstar during the day, I'll certainly let everybody know. But this is what the day ahead has in store. Of course, another one that is going to be worth watching today that we loaded up on calls on last week was McEwen Mining. That's had a great move. Was up 4.42% on Wednesday, 1.85% on Thursday, and then shot up 7% on Friday. Now gold has had while the markets have been closed in the US, gold obviously had a great rally to all-time 2-year highs yesterday, and is up again today. So we can expect MUX to have a powerful day. Of course, we hold the November $4 calls in this, so this is going to be quite exciting as well. Now, for anyone who has been asking about the Big One 3, this is of course our specialist webinar where we look at the biggest plays in the options world and stock world for stocks that we see as coming as having a 20, 30 to 50% decline potential in the stocks. Of course, the Big One 3 is where we're selecting our absolute top long-term holds in options where we're looking for that 30, 40, 50% decline in stocks. So we're looking for that kind of 500 to 1,000% return potential in the long-dated options we're selecting. We held our theory lesson last week in the Big One. So this is your last chance to kind of get involved. Again, the Big One is a very specialist workshop that we do when we see a perfect storm of market events leading up to a potential big drop. The last couple times we have done it was back in July of last year where we had a 10% correction. We did it again in December last year where we had a 10% correction. In both of those events, we selected our favorite long-dated options for companies that are extremely weak from a number of factors, which I'll talk about in a moment. And again, across those selections, we had very few losers. Most of them were 200%, 300%, 400%, some as much as 1,000% returns over a 3 to 6 week period. So this is really kind of a very special event. What we covered on Wednesday, which is the lesson you will get right away on demand that you want to watch as soon as possible. We covered that just last week. That lesson we went into teaching you the how we designed the Big One scan, which is something we give you, and that scan incorporates a very top-down approach of looking at the weakest sector and then the weakest industry within that sector. So where are those areas? We then go in and fine tune from the stocks that are in the weakest sector and weakest industries in the entire market. We show you how we pick those, but then we go into those individual stocks and look at the ones that have the heaviest insider selling. We then actually go into the insider sellers themselves, look at their track record, look at how much they're selling, what their success record is in the past has been, whether they are big swinging wigs where they have made huge moves before when they got out of stocks and they were bang on the mark. Those are things we want to be aware of. We look into the company themselves, the institutions, if they're all selling them as well, P to E ratios, dividend yields. Like, we go into everything, of course, and then combine the Acorn technicals on top of that to look for the highest probability short setups where we can get some really juicy priced options where there's that high triple digit potential return based on the weakness of that stock. So that's what we did on Wednesday, and that's what you'll get straight away on demand, is that lesson showing you the scan. And of course, when after going through the scan, we actually in fact went through and applied the scan live and actually picked out some extremely attractive positions that some of which we've already started to take positions in. But most of that has just been preparation for the live lesson this Wednesday at 6:30 Mountain, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. That's the time this Wednesday that the next live lesson will take place, and that's where we're going to be putting the scan into action and picking out our top favorite core positions we're going to be getting into and holding. And so again, this class really focuses on the options where we can get those really humongous potential returns if these stocks do drop 30, 40, 50%. The upside potential on the options is limitless. So we talk about what options we're looking at, why these are our absolute top alerts versus the other ones we've found in the scan, where we provide you with the big one Excel sheet to track everything that we're considering in that decision making process, from all the time frames to the risk reward to the insiders to the special conditions, everything, risk reward calculator. And of course we'll be going through in Wednesday's session all of the fundamentals and technicals that we've used to screen these and why these are our favorites. And we'll also be providing you with on top of the big one a brand new short scanner we've developed for incredible charts, which is just extremely powerful and is our newest addition to our scanning arsenal. So it's only $197. We will probably make 10 times that just in the stocks we found already in today and tomorrow's trading, based on how the charts on those stocks are looking. So I highly recommend you give it a look. If you've got any questions, of course, you can email us at info@acornwealthcorp.com. Otherwise, get on it, www.acornwealthcorp.com/perfect to enroll. And again, that live class will be tomorrow, where we pick out our core positions of our next big one list of puts we're going to be getting into. So don't miss it. Again, this event only comes around under very special market conditions, and it's certainly the highest performing trades we find. So hope you'll join us tomorrow night. Again, the link down the bottom. Otherwise, we'll be talking to you all soon. Have a great day trading. Take care.